Hello, everyone. I'm Sean,
This is who?
and we are the Courageour Frights, back once again from their series review.
Yes.
So now we're getting caught up on Dragon Ball Daima. So this time we're covering episodes 8, 9, and 10.
Yes, so that brings it up to the halfway point
Yes.
of the series.
All right. So episode 8 is Tamagami.
Tamagami. So I think this is the episode that basically starts off with the fight between Goku and the Tamagami. So in the third Demon World's Tamagami, I mean Goku does go into Super Saiyan, and he also breaks the Warhammer of the Tamagami. 'Cause the Tamagami has he's like Thor almost.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. He kind of throws his hammer around and kind of brings it back and everything else, but he kind of struggles against Goku because Goku's messing around like he always does. Then he goes in Super Saiyan 2 and then uses the This is where you can see the Kamehameha the first time as well.
Right.
At least in this show here. And then the Kamigami's you're too strong for me. I yield. And then they're like, oh yeah, you have to play one more game. It's you can't that was just the first beginning test. Here's the actual test for you to win this thing. So they're you got to play a shell game, which is one of those cup games where you put a ball underneath a cup.
Yeah.
And you kind of move it around really quick.
Around, yeah.
And they're you got to pick where the Dragon Ball's at. Once you pick it right, it's yours. So when he does that, he does the shell game, but then he's where's the ball at? And he's oh, it's over there, because it was it showed him that while he's doing it super fast, he basically took the ball and threw it across the way, I guess. Mm-hmm. They're oh yes, you've got the Dragon Ball, you've completed my challenges, so now you're a proud owner of the Dragon Ball. So they finally get the first Dragon Ball for the Demon Realm, and then everyone's celebrating and stuff like that. But then we get into the point where Gloria actually contacts Dr. Aritsu and basically is Goku got the first Dragon Ball. This, my plan is coming into fruition. So their plan is I guess they have a backup plan in case their original plan fails, which it might be I guess I won't go into that until later on. But so then Goku's basically going back over to the second world, because they basically completed the final boss of the third Demon Realm. So we need to go to the second Demon World now. And then and then it kind of goes back to where Goma and Degatsu is reviewing footage on GodTube, looking at old footage from Dragon Ball Z episodes.
Yes.
So when they see that Vegeta does a final atomic explosion against Majin Buu, and then they see that some dot in the background, they're what is that? Let me blow it up, and it's a Rinsu actually collecting the Buu regenerative tissue or something like that. Mm-hmm. At least one of them, while she's in the background, and it's oh, why is she there? And at the same time, it shows Aritsu going to visit Marba, which apparently is a witch that completed Buu, which I don't know, was that in the original series?
No, that's a retcon,
yeah,
or something. Bobbity supposedly was the one that created... No, Bibbidi. Bibbidi was the one that supposedly created Buu, initially.
Yeah.
And then Bobbity's his son. But then Toriyama changed that at some point after the series was done, and said that Buu has just always existed.
Oh, okay.
And that Bibbidi just kind of discovered him.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And now they're saying that Marba created Buu.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's also the same deal that the material that Buu is made of has existed since the dawn of time, or what's going on.
I think Marba even says is if you created this creature, couldn't you just do it more? And he's it was a fluke.
Yeah.
It's it was a fluke that was created, and it was kind of what'd she say? She said it was a mistake or something.
Yeah, unless Marba's also lying like Bibbidi was.
Yeah, which could possibly be the case. And then she also, after it's been completed, she's you need to spit in this thing. Into this cauldron, because it, controls the creature better or something like that.
Yeah, so Arinsu, who has a interesting character design in the first place, has to spit on that thing to make it loyal. Yeah,
to make the creature loyal to her.
It's a bit sus.
Yeah.
So anyway, that happens.
And that's then it reveals what her actual plan is. Her actual plan is she wants to rule the Demon Realm and overthrow Goma with using either the Dragon Ball or... I think they wanted to use the Dragon Balls, actually, because I think she wants to like Goku and to actually get all the Dragon Balls, so she has like the thing she's creating to beat Goku up, so it can take the Dragon Balls and make the wish that she's like the supreme ruler.
Right.
That's like her plan, basically. And then I guess at that same time, Kaiden's like contacting Hybus, Bulma, Vegeta, and Piccolo, and telling them that Goku beat the first Tamagami, so he has the first Dragon Ball, and to meet him at this one location. And that's actually the end of the episode 8.
Okay.
So
then episode 9 is what was that? Thieves?
Yeah, Thieves is episode 9.
So there's 2 meanings for Thieves. So one point is they just got the Dragon Ball from Tamagami 1 or 3, whatever, however you look at it. And they have to stay at a hotel, like an inn or something like that. And while they're staying there, they try to disguise Goku by putting a hat on his head so people can't see his spiky hair. And Pansy also gets the idea to put the Dragon Ball in like this satchel bag she has. And they walk into this inn, and they're like immediately spotted by this like werewolf guy and this like bird pterosaur dude or whatever. And those guys immediately figure out the ruse. They're like, that guy's that spiky-haired kid. Yeah. Because Goku takes his hat off immediately.
Because like it's itchy or something. You're like, this is too itchy.
Right. And then the other guy is like, yeah, and that bag's probably where the Dragon Ball is.
Yeah, so, I was like, man, that was the worst disguise in existence.
That was like a 2-second ploy. And they hide the Dragon Ball right by the window. And they cause a big commotion because the werewolf dudes cause a fight in the lobby. Which there's a funny scene there where he like picks up a dude, throws him on the ground, like stomps his throat. Like that guy's dead. And then Shin, our ever trolling Shin, shows up and he's just like, how rude.
Yeah.
It's like, those guys are so rude. And he just like murdered a guy. And while that's going on, the pterosaur dude guy comes through the window and steals the ball.
Yeah.
And then Goku goes flying after him. Eventually, after a big fight, Goku gets the Dragon Ball back.
Yeah.
And then he's supposed to stay up all night and watch, like, guard the ball, but he passes out in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that was like his payback for like not watching Dragon Ball the first time.
Yeah. But it's safe.
Yeah.
And they get in their plane, they go to meet Vegeta and the group. Vegeta and the group have a problem because their plane has now been stolen. Because the night before, Vegeta was bringing drinks back for the group, and he got into a fight with some thugs, like, at this cyberpunk bar.
Yeah, cyberpunk bar.
And
Neo Demon World.
Yeah. So Vegeta beat the crap out of these dudes at the bar, and then they stole his ship, just like Goku's group had their ship stolen. So this is a common problem in Demon World 3, I guess.
Yeah.
And Goku and the team come by. They stop by and they're like, hey guys. And then they're like, sorry, you can't come with us, and they leave.
Yeah.
Because
like your ships are too small.
There isn't enough room on the ship because they got all the crap from Pansy or whatever on board the ship. So we get a brief meeting of the two teams, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then they leave, but then right after they leave, the thugs that attacked Vegeta at the bar show up again because they're going to try to make them pay for the night before. And then Vegeta and Piccolo beat them up, and it turns out that they just have the ship hiding like in the woods behind them or something.
Yeah, in the zombie woods.
The zombie forest, yeah. Hybus got some issues, man. We got to talk about Hybus.
Yeah, he's a strange man.
First off, he wants to play a game called like Zombie Forest or something. Yeah. And I guess the point of the game is you lose. It's whoever beats the most zombies wins or something, but you lose if you get bit.
Yeah.
And turn into a zombie. So of course nobody wants to play that game.
Yeah.
And then he also works for Worm Pizzas.
Yeah. And he has an eyeball on his like
he has an eyeball like on his belt, and I'm almost certain it's that third eye that guy Goma's looking for.
Yeah, Goma's looking for the third eye. Yeah. It's like that's probably what, because he said he found it on like a mountain or something.
Right. So this Hybus guy's got some interesting traits. And anyway, so Vegeta beat up those thugs, and it turns out they had the plane still. It was just like in the woods somewhere.
Yeah.
So they get their ship back. And then they end up in the second realm. And that's where the next episode starts.
Yeah.
But during that time, Majin Ku is created.
Yeah.
Who is the being that they were trying to create in the last episode. But he's created with a Cyberman seed or something like that. So I guess the Cybermen are from the demon realm, which the Saiyans used to use those for training. So I don't know how the Saiyans acquired demon realm stuff, but okay. And
I think they did say something about they had traders that used to go back
yeah,
and
like
forth.
sell them or something like that. Yeah, I guess they did mention that. So we're created with Majin Ku, which is this weird cross between Boo and a Cyberman, and he's yellow. Mm-hmm. And that's basically episode 9.
Yeah, because they were like, we need to test this Majin Ku out. Let's go fight the first
the first Tamagami. Yeah. I think that's basically it.
Yeah, that's it for episode 9.
And then the most recent episode, called Ocean,
yes,
is Goku and the team end up in Demon World 2.
Yeah.
Which is the world where the Namekians lived and where the Glins are from, which is Shin's race, or Nahare, or whatever his name is. They immediately get attacked by the Gendarme again. Mm-hmm. Goku goes flying out of the ship, and Goku's like an absolute menace, just basically destroys the entire fleet. And then they get attacked by a Kraken, because there's these giant octopus monsters that live in the water. Their ship gets destroyed. Pansy jumps in the ship to save the Dragon Ball, but almost dies in the process.
Yeah.
And Goku manages to pull her out at the last minute. And then they land on the area where the Namekians are from. So there's like this planetoid that's just floating around that's kind of like where King Kai lives. It's bigger than King Kai's planet, but not by much. And I guess that's where the Namekians are from. And then it cuts to Vegeta and the crew have just entered World 2 as well. So Goku senses this. There's a scene where he looks distressed for a moment, like he's almost having a thought.
Yeah.
And then, and then he takes off because he senses them, because he has to go warn them about the Krakens. Or
and he's like, how did he know that? It's like, oh, he senses them.
And then before that, though, we get some more interesting behavior from Hybus.
Yeah.
We gotta address this Hybus guy. He's having this conversation with Bulma, and Bulma's talking about how smooth her skin is because she's like 10 years old now. And Hybus is like, I'm gonna make you my girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you my wife.
Your 10-year-old girl Bulma is gonna be Hybus's girlfriend. Yeah. And then Vegeta flips shit about that.
It's like, we're married.
Yeah, he's like, we're married. Care. And then Hybus is like, I don't mind. Yeah. Vegeta's like, well, I do.
It's like, we're all going to be adults after this is done.
And then Bulma makes the weird comment where you can wish yourself back to be an adult and I'll stay a child.
He's like,
and
no.
Vegeta's like, absolutely not. That's weird. We're not doing that. And then Hybus is like, so you like big boobs?
Yeah, he's like, you like big boobs. And he's like, what?
And then Piccolo is like, because Vegeta gets all flustered by that.
Yeah.
Even though I'm fairly certain the issue here is more in line with the fact that Bulma's 10 years old.
Yeah, 10 years old, like a grown man.
And Vegeta would be a grown man if they passed this, if they got the wish that they were just talking about. And then Hybus makes it about boobs. And then Piccolo is just like, oh, must be true.
Yeah, it must be true.
Because Vegeta gets all flustered about it, and it's like, no, this is weird. Everybody in that plane, except for my man Vegeta, is definitely questionable in this conversation.
Yes.
Even Bulma's a little sus. Like, she wants to remain a child while her husband's a grown man. It's like, okay.
It's like, no.
Yeah, that's not happening. Gotta go with Vegeta on that one. Yeah. That's freaking weird. And what does Piccolo know? He's not.
He's like asexual.
His race is spit up in eggs.
Yeah, it's like
they're Hawk-Tuid as well.
Yeah, Hawk-Tuid as well. Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, that's a scene. That was like something out of regular Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised they got away with that in 2024. But I guess in Japan you can.
Yeah, you can make like jokes like that and everything.
Somebody's gonna take it out of line. We just talked about it, but it's like jokingly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not seriously like, cancel the show.
Yeah.
CP in there.
Nowadays, people someone will probably say something.
Somebody will say something, yeah, and they'll be serious about it too, not like just a funny observation or something. But anyway, that happens, and then they show up in the middle of this interesting conversation. Goku shows up, and he's trying to warn them about the Kraken, but nobody knows what the hell he's trying to say.
He's like, open the door.
And Piccolo's like, open the door, let him in. So he comes in, he's like, you guys got to get out of here. You got to fly higher, because there's monsters. And of course, Vegeta's like, are you scared of little monsters or whatever? And then, like, the Kraken shows up outside the window, and it's huge.
Yeah.
And it almost gets them, but they manage to get away. And then they land, and the whole team's together now.
Now, like, everyone's like, you must have been here before. And Piccolo's like, no.
Oh, yeah. And everybody's a racist. Yeah. Bulma says the thing about, you must have missed this place or whatever. And Piccolo's like, I was never here.
Yeah, it's like I was born on Earth.
And then, I don't even think it was his father who's been there.
And because like Piccolo Daima just spits him up.
Yeah. And then he lands there on the Namekian planet, and Goku says the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like...
That one is like really weird, because he saw the egg flying out of his mouth. Yeah, he's like, that was like, he saw that and fight into like the Tenkaichi tournament.
Yeah. Goku doesn't remember a lot of things.
Because he got that concussion.
Yeah, there's too many concussions. Which one was it, Goku? Yeah. Which concussion made you think this was a good idea?
Yeah.
So they're all together now. They all pile into the one plane, which they can all fit in now because all of Pansy's shit got eaten by the Kraken.
Yeah.
So they don't have to worry about making room for everybody. And then they get ready to take off, and the creepy old Namekian guy shows up.
Yeah, he's like laughing, like weird laughing, old man laughing over to the ship.
Yeah.
So there's the one Namekian still there. And
right.
That's the one guy.
But I'm pretty sure it's that Namekian from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then the other subplot, so that's their whole plot.
Yeah.
The other subplot is Majin Ku fights Tamagami 1, and he sucks.
Yeah, he's like horrible.
It's like plot twist, the main bad guy's garbage.
Yeah.
Which obviously he's not the final bad guy. Like, they're probably... Arinsu's pissed at him, basically says you're fired.
No, you suck. He's like, get out of my face.
And then Majin Ku's like, I can sing, and I could go shopping for you. Yeah. She's like, what?
She's like disgusted.
Like, what the hell are you talking about? So she's either going to have him melted down in the magic cauldron and start over, or I think Marba had a second Saiba seed. Mm-hmm. So maybe they'll make another one and then have them fuse with like those bugs or whatever they introduced earlier.
Yeah, because that's one thing. It does show up like they always talk about like the bugs. Everyone hates these bug things. So.
Yeah, that was the thing too. Like Goku got hungry.
Yeah.
And Glorio's like, deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it. Like the glasses show up.
Yeah. The pixelated glasses slide down onto his face. And then Goku ate one of the bugs, and he said it tasted gross, but it did return all his stamina and everything.
It's basically the sensu bean thing. So it actually is a sensu bean.
Yeah. Which apparently sensu beans taste bad if you cook them. So
yeah. It's like everyone hates these bugs, but it's like it seems like they're like the most popular thing or something. Like it's like they're like the most like beneficial thing in existence.
Also, they sell them, so like somebody must be buying them
at that one store or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't know why everybody's like completely grossed out by these bugs.
Like he does say it tastes bad, but he said it felt better now after eating it.
Right.
Like, I feel better after I eat this.
So there must be something more to it. I don't know. But that's basically it.
Yeah, because I think our post-credits scene in Ocean was Vegeta fighting Tamagami 2, it looks like.
Right.
So
it'll be interesting to see if Vegeta can defeat the second one. Because I don't know if they've actually explicitly stated this anywhere. Mm-hmm. But somewhere I saw that it's like a rising tier rank.
Yeah.
So it's like the third world is the weakest one, second world's stronger, and first world's the strongest. If that's true, then Majin Ku lots to the strongest of the Tamagamis.
Yeah.
So Vegeta might be able to take on 2. The only thing is, will Vegeta be able to do like the game or whatever after he defeats it? If that's a thing this one does.
Yeah, because they said that's like the first one. The fighting is like your initiation thing.
Yeah.
Then there's something else after, but I don't know if it's all games or just something else in general. But that's probably Vegeta's probably gonna fail the game.
Probably there'll be something with that. So we'll see what goes on there, and they'll probably spend the time trying to fix Majin Ku or make like another one or something.
Because I have a feeling like the third one when they fight Demon Realm 3, if they fight Demon Realm 3, I guess, unless like Majin Ku beats that third guy.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Or Demon Realm 1.
Of that. Yeah, actually. Demon Realm 1, I mean.
Yeah.
Because he does have the fusion like bean, and I feel that's gonna show up somewhere.
That's true. Goku does have it. One thought I had would be interesting though was like if they have two Majin Ku things and they fused.
Yeah.
That would be interesting because I don't think they've ever had a villain fuse without the heroes fusing. Like say they somehow get the fusion bug that Goku has.
Yeah.
Then they fuse and like the regular guys, Vegeta and Goku and stuff have to fight a fused being separately. Like, that could be interesting. Because they fought Merge Zamasu, but they were also Vegito at that point.
Yeah.
So
they were strong at that point, not just like by themselves.
And that also hasn't happened yet, but in terms of viewers' information, like they have to do something big.
And that would be if they're two guys that are like strong, like Majin Buu level. I don't know. Was Majin Buu like almost like a fused monster because he has like those cells and stuff? Like
sort of. I mean, they haven't. It's not fusion in the same idea that the Potaro or the fusion dance is, but it is maybe like Cell. Yeah. In a way, where Cell it's more like absorption.
Oh yeah,
where Cell like had to basically absorb 17 and 18, and then it boosted him up to semi-perfect and perfect.
Yeah.
Boo's kind of the same way because he like eats people and then he like absorbs their powers. So it's not necessarily I don't think it's a multiplier like fusion. I think it's like you just gain the power. It's like an addition instead of a multiplier. Yeah. So I think it's something like that.
Also, it's like one of those things where whatever if they do have a Majin Ku thing, where he beats the Tamagami and eats them and gets stronger from it. It's like the Tamagami.
Yeah, they could do that too, I guess.
But we'll have to see because that's like just like I said, these are all speculation stuff. But...
Right. Yeah, but we still have 10 episodes, so
yeah. So I guess how would you think the first 10 episodes of this series has been at this point?
I think it's pretty good. Like the animation quality is some of the best we've had.
Yeah.
The story is decent. There's a lot of lore. Like tons and tons.
I guess we skipped over the one part. Yeah, we do have a lore of like the Kai lore at this point.
And the creation of the universe.
Yeah, the creation of the universe lore. And I guess he's saying the Kais will die out because they don't have no way to actually like reproduce anymore.
Right, the trees that they're from are all dead.
Yeah. And
they also talked about the Raimus or something like that? That was like some kind of creation gods that looks like almost like I don't know if they're like the creator deity equivalent of Zeno is a destruction deity kind of thing. Like I'm not sure how that fits in.
Is that a new thing or is that?
That's new. Okay. Yeah. Because before they said that Zeno is the strongest thing in the universe. Now they're saying these things are.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's like they're equal. Like one's a destroyer, one's a creator, and they're like
that's probably. I wonder if that's probably it. They probably have like a balance type of thing.
Or if Zeno's like a child of those things or something because he's so. Like a baby or whatever.
That could be it too.
Like we don't know how these Raimu things are. And then there was a supreme like good demon king of like the universe that caused the universe to be created or something, or the multiverse to be created.
Yeah.
So it seems like the demon realms are where everything came from initially.
Yeah.
Except for things that emerged later, because they said like humans and Saiyans came later.
Yeah, he said after the universe was created, humans and Saiyans showed up.
But there's a bunch of stuff from the demon realm that was like at the beginning of all creation or something like that.
I guess we actually found out that there was other demon, like there was one demon lord that was like he basically shut out the demon realm compared to everyone else.
Yeah, it was Abra. He was the guy before Dabra. I don't know if it's like Dabra's father or if it's just a precursor
like
to him.
Like a precursor or something. He was like they shut it out because he was worried about other forces going to the demon realm.
Right. But he basically closed the demon realm, but I guess he was like a tyrant.
Yeah.
And that's why everybody fled the demon realm. So that's why the Glins left and the Namekians and all that.
Yeah, like we don't want to stay here if it's going to be like this.
Right. So, and I guess that happened when Shin was still young or something. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it happened before or after Boo's rampage. Must have been after.
Probably after.
Because Shin was there for Boo's stuff, but then it must be after that.
Yeah, and I think those are all like specifically set over to Super, I believe. Like all that stuff was like Super stuff, wasn't it? Like
well, the Kai stuff was
Super.
Super.
They're all linked together that way.
Yeah, because they showed a bunch of the Kais or the Glins or whatever they are.
Yeah.
And they were all the guys from Super.
Yeah.
So, because they had like Gowasu there, who's Zamasu's mentor and like that sort of thing. So they did have their first explicit tie to Super, which I don't know why that was a big deal, because a lot of people online were like, it makes Super canon. It's like, it always was canon.
Yeah,
like, that's like... This has never been set up to be non-canon.
Yeah, who would have thought that Super was non-canon? Or was
I don't know, they thought this made Super non-canon, and it's like, this is before Super.
Yeah, this is like right after, like, isn't it like right after?
It's right after Boo, yeah.
Yeah, the Boo saga.
This is between the Boo saga and Super. It's all the same continuity.
Yeah.
The only thing that's questionable about continuity is GT.
Yeah.
Because GT can't possibly fit in the regular continuity, although, like, Namdai Bamco or whatever basically said GT's canon as well. Which must be because of like some multiversal thing.
Yeah.
Because if they, in that case, like Xenoverse and stuff has made that also canon. Because they've had GT characters show up in like, they've had like Super Saiyan 4 Goku fight Super Saiyan Blue Goku in that sort of stuff. And I think it's creating like a multiverse type of thing. You know, there's like Earth.
Yeah,
616
they have like
or whatever.
Earth 7. That's like they talk about Earth 7. There's like a multiple different Earths and stuff.
Right. I think that's what they're doing with that. There's also like Super. There's 14 universes or something like that, or 13 universes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just like in one reality, maybe. Maybe GT exists in a different timeline or a different reality or something. Because you also have, like, Trunks' future. You have, like, all these other weird parallel...
Where Vegeta has a mustache.
Yes. That's the timeline.
Vegeta had a mustache.
I shaved my mustache.
Shaved my mustache.
So, that might still exist in canon in theory. In the same sort of way that, like, Marvel has different continuities, or DC has different...
Like Elseworld stories.
Infinite Earth type storylines or whatever. Like, that might be what they're doing with Dragon Ball. So in that sense, maybe GT's still canon. But in the regular continuity, GT can't possibly be canon. Because you would have... I think Beerus and all those guys would have shown up.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh yeah, let's show up here.
Because they're catching... A regular Super's catching up to where GT was.
Yeah.
Because Pan was like 5 years old or something in Superhero. And she's like 8 or 9 or something in GT.
Is that how young they or Pan was around the same age?
Pan was like in preschool or kindergarten or something in Super.
Oh, okay.
Superhero, whatever. And then she looked a little bit older than that in GT.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to be approaching where GT was.
Yeah.
So I don't think they could be. It can't be canon because you think Goku would have gone Super Saiyan God or something. Like he wouldn't have. Like
by now.
Yeah, in GT he would have definitely changed if that was canon.
Yeah.
So, but this is still canon with Super. Like that was never in question.
Yeah.
Except for with certain members of the fan base that can't read and don't watch the show.
With the amount of, like, lore bits, this is definitely...
This is the most lore-filled show we've had, easily, because we've got all this in 10 episodes.
Yeah, they had basically every episode has, like, lore in it somewhere.
The pacing in this has been going really quick.
Yeah, it's only 10 more episodes. It feels like it needs more, to be honest.
Yeah, it's only... People say this is a really slow show, and it's only because it's only slow if you only count fights.
Yeah.
As Dragon Ball, which I understand Dragon Ball is an action shown in anime or whatever, whatever it is. But if you're going by plot and stuff, it's moving pretty quick.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a ton of action compared to the other shows, but it's got all this lore and stuff built into it instead.
Yeah, they talk about creation of universes. That's
yeah. Some people are
big lore drops.
Yeah, some people are talking about, this is breaking canon or whatever, but I mean, maybe in some ways, but a lot of this is information we never got before.
Yeah.
So it's mostly clarifying things that we didn't know about in the past. So it's not really superseding anything. It's like this is the first time we've ever heard of this sort of thing. So yeah, personally, I think this show's really good.
Yeah, I do like. I like how it feels like the original Dragon Ball, to be honest. Because it has that adventure feeling, which I think that's what this is trying to be.
Right. Well, it says right on this poster thing I got, "Welcome to the Great Adventure."
Oh, yeah.
So, like, that's definitely what they're doing. It has a very strong JRPG vibe.
Yeah, that's one thing.
It's almost like Dragon Quest, the Dragon Ball version.
Yeah, if Toriyama was trying to combine Dragon Quest with Dragon Ball, there you go. Here it is.
That's basically it.
Yeah. Yeah, your first boss, your final boss of the first world. Now you go to the second boss.
It's structured exactly like an RPG.
Yeah.
Which, if we don't get an RPG for Daima, I'm gonna be pissed off.
Yeah, they really should. This one sets up for an RPG. Like at least like maybe even a traditional JRPG Daima game.
Yeah, because we've had that with Dragon Ball. There was a GBA game or something that was like Attack of the Saiyans, and it was literally a traditional turn-based JRPG.
Yeah.
We've had a few JRPGs in Dragon Ball, actually. I think there was one for Super Nintendo or something. Or maybe a couple, I don't know. But, yeah, I would really like to see something like that. Like on the Switch or something. Like, I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, because like this show is like really not about, at least to me, it doesn't seem like too much about the power levels and like, the bad scaling sometimes they have with
yeah.
You get too powerful, and you can't be too powerful sometimes.
There's a certain not unsizable sector of the Dragon Ball fandom that's into power scaling and all that kind of stuff. And those guys probably hate this show.
Yeah, they're probably hating this show, because they don't really talk about that much in this.
No.
Obviously, Goku and them are, like, way powerful compared to everyone else, but they're not trying to be powerful. They're just kind of, like, messing around. At least Goku is.
Yeah.
That's Goku. He always messes around. And then he slowly builds up to what his, like, ultimate power, like Super Saiyan... Or maybe not even ultimate power, like Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah, so far they haven't come across anything that's actually, like, a major threat to them. The story's driven more by the world building and the story and the itself. Lore.
And world building is like what it's like building around.
Yeah, more so than like the power scaling and fights and stuff.
And even animation, I would say, because the animation is really good in this.
Yeah, they're making stuff that was taken for granted look amazing. Yeah. Like that Kamehameha from like episode 8 was crazy.
Yeah, it looks really good. This show looks really good,
and it's consistently good. Yeah. It's not like something like Uzumaki or something where the first episode looks good and then it goes to shit after that. This has, like, been consistently the same level of quality the entire time.
I wonder if they were able to do that because of how short the episodes were. Like, it's only 20 episodes and you're done with the series. Because normal Dragon Ball series are, like... How long are normal Dragon Balls? They're, like, long.
Yeah. Well...
And maybe they learned a lesson from Super, maybe?
Yeah, original Dragon Ball was, like, 130 episodes or something. Dragon Ball Z was, like, 297 or something. GT was only 65, I think, and then or somewhere around there, and then Super was 131.
Was that 131 episodes?
Yeah. So
you got 2 left hands in there.
Yeah, that was at the beginning. It got better.
Then the people complained about it and it got fixed.
Yeah, episode 5 is still legendary to this day.
Yeah,
but they still screwed up after that because Vegeta's left hands was like 7 or something. Like that was a later episode.
Yeah,
they didn't really get that shit fixed until like the Goku Black arc or something was when it started looking really good.
Yeah, probably because they're like, we need to work on their animation because this is like this is like one of our flagship shows here.
Also, those first 2 arcs are garbage in Super because of the fact that they're just retellings of the movies. Yeah. Like they could have easily just not done those at all.
I was gonna say, I wonder if they're gonna make Super 2 or whatever, or like whatever the sequel is. I wonder if they're gonna have to retell like Superhero.
That's what they're doing in the manga already.
Oh, is that what they're doing? Okay.
Yeah, I think they just finished it or something. Or maybe I can't remember if they finished it or if it's still on break because... Well, I know it's still on break after Toriyama died, but I can't remember if they finished superhero or not. But that's what they're doing in the manga right now, is retelling superhero.
Oh, okay.
But they're retelling it with a whole bunch more like Trunks and Goten and high school stuff and all that kind of thing. Oh, so they're kind of telling it from a different perspective.
Oh, because they're actually giving some like personality to Trunks and Goten.
Yeah, it's like more
instead of
like
being like kids.
Yeah, it's more like slice of life type stuff, which a lot of people like that too. So.
Yeah. Which actually, that was a lore bit that came from here too, because they did say that their growth spurt doesn't start until like a certain age.
Right? Yeah, they did actually say that here. That was like
literally
the first episode.
Yeah, the first episode they did say that. I was like, why do they still look so young? Oh, the growth spurts for Saiyans don't start until they're like age whatever.
That's a lot of this show. Like,
yeah,
a lot of people are complaining about it breaking canon or breaking lore or whatever, and it's like a lot of it's that stuff where it's like they're finally just addressing things that have been questions the fans have been asking for years.
Yeah, it's like, whatever. Oh, this is what happened. This is this.
Yeah, this is the explanation for it.
Goku loves his wife, I guess, because he's like, I have a wife.
Yes,
I have kids.
I wasn't there for most of it, but
yeah, I was there for most of it.
He does say that.
Yeah, he does say that, even though he's like, okay, at least he acknowledges it.
Right.
That was a question for a while, even though I know the circuit segment in this fan base probably wants him and Pansy to be together or something.
Yeah, that is a thing I've seen.
Yeah, and it's
which is like, what? Okay.
He acknowledged that a long time ago. He was like, no, I'm married.
She's 80, bro.
Yeah, it's like, I'm married. I have kids.
Yeah.
So.
But, yeah. The 80 thing is also questionable.
Yeah, that was
like, she's a species that lives 1,000 years, so she's like 8.
It's like, you've done a mistake.
Like, that was a mistake.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Naming the age was a mistake.
This fandom can't be trusted with that information.
Yeah.
Although this fandom's not as bad as a lot of them. As far as the anime fandoms go, I mean, yes, there's degenerates within the Dragon Ball community, but it's not nearly as bad as some.
That's what it says. Like, they do say that, like, Dragon Ball community is not as bad. At least what I've seen. Maybe I don't really look for this stuff, but going with the Dragon Ball community doesn't seem as bad as some of the other.
No, it's definitely there, but it's not as prevalent as some other franchises.
Yeah.
Like most anime franchises.
Yeah. Like most anime fandoms? Yeah.
Or like Sonic level.
Yeah, Sonic level. That's like...
I don't think anything's quite to Sonic's level.
No, Sonic is... No, I don't think anything's going to surpass Sonic.
Sonic is whole next level when it comes to that sort of behavior.
Yes.
So anyway, I think that's going to do it for Dragon Ball Daima so far. So if you watch these episodes, let us know in the comments below what you thought, what you want to see in Daima going forward. And if you think or would like to see Super come back, anything like that. I think there's, what is that, Jump Festa or something's coming up?
Yeah.
I think that's in December sometime. Might even be now. I have no idea. I think it might be this weekend. I'm not sure. Or next. I don't know. So we'll see if anything comes of that. If there's news about that, we'll probably talk about it in the next Daima review, I guess. Yes. Unless they make another dedicated video for it if it's something really major, but... Probably just talk about it in the Daima video, if there's anything.
Yeah.
So if you like the video, give us...
An announcement.
Yes. Probably what it will be. It'll probably be an announcement for an announcement. Stay tuned.
Yes.
So if you like the video, give it that thumbs up. Consider subscribing for more like this in the future, and you too could feel the strength welling within. See ya.
See ya.